All right, so England somehow, some way have made an international tournament final, a major final, the first time in 55 years. Our only other final in 1966 when we won the World Cup at Wembley. And this final this year is also at Wembley. This is a crazy feeling because I never thought I'd see this day in my lifetime. I support Arsenal and England. And when you support two teams like that, you're in for constant heartbreak and failure and disappointment. You know, I could go on with so many different words I could come up with watching these two teams. With Arsenal almost every year, I mean, literally right now, it's every year. It's just constant pain and embarrassment ever since 2006, really. 2006, we were in the Champions League final and we had a chance of winning it. We were 15 minutes away from winning it and we lost 2-1. And I cried that day as a kid. I was like, I think I was 10 years old. Yeah, I think I was turning 11. I was just before I turned 11. I watched that game full of hope because we had such a great run that year. I was in full of hope. Our first ever Champions League was coming home, so to speak. That was obviously Arsenal, not England. But still, I genuinely believed it was happening that night, and it didn't. And I was a kid, I was crying. Only time I ever cried over a game. It was heartbreaking. And since then, I have not experienced any of my teams, well, two teams, one club, one national team, in a major final. But now it's happening with England of all teams. With Arsenal, I've seen us win the league. I wasn't there at the stadium, but I've seen us win the league on television. At least that was something, right? I've watched as a kid, watching the Invincibles, okay? And I've been watching since I was like 5 years old. So 2002, I lived through that as well. Will toured at Old Trafford. With England, I started following England in Euro 2004. I was a bit late to the international train, I guess. I don't know why I'm calling it a train. But I started supporting England in 2004. And I witnessed heartbreak against Portugal. We lost the penalties to Portugal. Then 2 years later, World Cup 2006, we lost again to Portugal on penalties. And after these two games, I hated Portugal. Not the country, just the football team. Hated Portugal. Always wanted to see them lose. So you could imagine my face when they won the Euros 5 years ago. I was very annoyed about that. I still haven't let that go. I still haven't let it go. We haven't played them since then, actually, in the tournament, which is crazy. But I haven't let that go. But, you know, that was part of the pain and the heartbreak because we had such a good team back then. If you look at the players we had back in those years, in the mid-2000s, my word, definitely should have done better. And then 2008, Euro 2008, we didn't even qualify. It was that embarrassing. We didn't even qualify for the Euros. World Cup 2010, we turned up with a good record in qualifying. We looked good, played some good football, came to the tournament and played poorly. 2 draws against USA, Algeria, just about beat Slovenia to go through, just to get smashed by Germany. Euro 2012, improvement, but still lost some penalties, this time to Italy. World Cup 2014, a new low. We were in a group of death, in fairness, but that's not an excuse. We were rock bottom of the group, crashed out in the group stages. There's no excuse for that. Euro 2016, losing to Iceland. No disrespect to Iceland either, I like Iceland, but losing to Iceland in the round of 16 was a low, a big low. I don't know what Harry Kane was doing on corners, but let's not get started on that, right? And then if you told me in 2016 that we would be in a semi-final in the next 2 tournaments, I would have called you a madman or a mad lady, whoever you are. I would have called you mad because there is no way that's happening. No way England are doing that ever in my lifetime. The amount of pain I've seen, the amount of failure I've seen of England, no matter how good the team, because we had a great team in 2006, right? Didn't get it right. No matter how good or bad the team, we always failed. So you telling me we would reach a semi-final after losing to Iceland in 2016, I'd laugh at you. But 3 years ago it happened. We went to the semi-finals. And after the pain of watching Arsenal, to be honest, watching Arsenal has kind of put me off football sometimes. Like this past season, probably the least Premier League I've watched since I started watching football. Like, I didn't watch that much Premier League football in the past season because Arsenal just annoy me all the time, and I just kind of I don't lose interest. I still support, but you know, it's just it gets to the point where you get fed up. But with England, there's actually hope. In 2018, they gave me hope that we could actually do something good. And this moment came against Colombia when we finally won a shootout, and it was against a good Colombia side, and that was amazing. That was an amazing night. Then we beat Sweden, and then we choked to Croatia, to be honest. We choked to Croatia in that semi. I don't care what anyone says, we should have won that game. And that's nothing against Croatia. I think they deserve to go through. But based on how that game went, we should have been about 3 goals up in the first half. We failed, and that's the end of that. But we lost. And to be honest, I didn't think we'd win the World Cup that year anyway. I thought we'd lose to France if we won against Croatia. But with the Euros, I actually genuinely believed that we might do something, especially considering we'd be at Wembley for most of it. And I thought at least we'd get through the group. And we did that. I just wasn't sure if we'd beat a France or a Germany or a Portugal. I wasn't sure we could beat a big team. We got through our group, and we had to play Germany. And so be it. Like, Germany, they're not as good now as they were a few years ago. Fine, I get that. But still a big team. Still a good team. Still elite. We managed to actually beat them. I was at work that day, but I took my break late so I can watch the ending. Saw both goals. What a win. You know, that was our first win against Germany in a tournament. Knocking them out since 1966. It was an amazing feeling. An amazing feeling. Then we got a nice quarterfinal against Ukraine again in Rome, and we won 4-0. And now we've beaten Denmark 2-1 at Wembley. And now we got a Wembley final in a showdown against the Italians, who for me will be the favourites in that final, which I am fine with. I think it's better if we're not the favourites. But I don't know what the bookies are saying, but for me, they are the favourites. We are at home. We got home advantage. We got the fans. So that's great, but I'm sure Italy will support it anyway, and they're a big team, they got some big players, and they can definitely win that final. But for once I believe that England can do it. And I could be a fool, because I believed in 2006 with Arsenal in the Champions League final. We lost, and this is going to be the first big final that I see a team of mine in. Yes, I've seen FA Cup finals, but it's not the same. You know, I like FA Cups. I like winning FA Cups with Arsenal. I mean, I don't win them, but the players do. But I like watching Arsenal win FA Cups. That's a nice thing. But it's nowhere near the Champions League, you know what I mean? And with international football, it's nowhere near that. This is England in a major tournament final, in a tournament we haven't won before either. So it's not just the fact that we could win our first trophy since 1966. It also could be our first European Championship. And this is huge. And this will be our best chance ever to win it. Because we're at home. It's at Wembley. The last time it came home in 1966, it was at Wembley in England. Now it's at Wembley in England. 55 years. 55 years. And here we are. It's possible. It's possible. And it would mean the world to me to see England win this. For England to win something in my lifetime, all my days, that would be surreal. If it doesn't happen this year, then it might not ever happen, at least in my lifetime. I think this is the best chance we'll get in a long, long, long time. And we just got to take it. We just got to take it. Now, I do feel that we're not really playing that great, not playing as good as some people think we are. I think there's definitely improvement. There's room for improvement for sure. We've got the talent to win. We've got talent over the field. I just really hope. I'm hoping and praying that we can finally do this. I'm really hoping and praying that we can do this. Please bring it home. I'm not as confident as many other England fans are or might be. I'm always going to be pessimistic when my team plays, because I've constantly watched a couple decades now of failure, both from Arsenal and England, constantly watching my teams fail. does not give me confidence, no matter how far they get. So even though England are in the final, it's not going to fill me with a world of confidence. I'm going to be very nervous from right now up until during the game. I hope we can pull it off. I really do. You know, we got to take our chances, defend well. I don't need to say this. The players know, we know. Hopefully, whatever our game plan is, whatever the lineup, I hope we just get it right. And it would just be amazing if we could just bring it home. It would be amazing. It would be amazing. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to end this video here because I think I've said enough. And at this point, I'm just repeating myself. But the point is, my whole life, I've experienced failure. Failure. Failure after failure after failure. This would make... It would make my year. It would make my decade. Like, I could go on and on. But this would mean so much after witnessing England fail so much and witnessing Arsenal fail so much. I feel like that plays into this as well because it's constant failure. I don't catch a break. No matter which team I watch, my team fails. So this would just be amazing. It really would. And obviously, if we lose, I will be very, very annoyed. But this is definitely the most nervous I have felt since that Arsenal 2006 Champions League final, which we lost and I cried. Hopefully this one turns out very different. Hopefully it would make all these years of pain of England at least worth it. So I guess I'll be streaming for the final on this main channel, and you can maybe watch me react. I'll probably be, to be honest, probably be silent for most of it because I get really silent when I'm nervous, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll be stressed out for sure. But yeah, this is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and see ya.